Hey everyone, and welcome back to AI Podcast. It's Brian back with you again, your guide to the world of AI and all its amazing advancements. And today, well, we're joined once again by the awesome Kathy, our AI expert.
Glad to be here.
And today, folks, we're going deep, diving into a whole new level of AI, something called GPT-01. And this isn't, your typical AI writing poems or, composing tweets. This is different. So Kathy, tell us, what makes GPT-01 so special?
Yeah, you're right, Brian. It's a completely different ballgame. See, while models like GPT-3 or even GPT-4 are impressive generalists, GPT-01 it's a specialist. It's been designed for deep reasoning, for tackling those really complex problems that you'd find in fields like science and math.
So it's like the difference between, let's say, a really skilled handyman and a rocket scientist. Both have their own skills, but
Yeah.
one is dealing with a completely different level of complexity.
Precisely. And the key to this, to GPT-01's rocket science abilities, is something that we call chain of thought reasoning. It's a mouthful, but it's really the heart of what makes this AI so unique.
All right, so break it down for us. What is this chain of thought all about?
So imagine instead of just spitting out an answer that's based on, patterns and data, AI could actually think through a problem step by step, just like a human expert would.
Okay.
That's chain of thought reasoning in action. It's constantly evaluating, adjusting, refining its approach as it goes, just like we do when we're trying to solve, a really challenging problem.
So it's not just pattern matching. It's actually understanding the steps, understanding the logic involved.
Exactly. It's like the difference between, knowing the answer is 42
Right.
and understanding how did we actually arrive at 42.
I like it.
And this is really a game changer, especially for those challenges that require deep logic, testing different hypotheses, that kind of iterative problem solving.
Now, I love to see the practical side of things here, and I kept hearing about GPT-01 being used for this really complex problem. Protein folding. What's the big deal with protein folding? It sounds like something straight out of, a biochemistry textbook.
It might sound like textbook stuff, but trust me, this is cutting edge. So imagine proteins as these tiny microscopic origami. They're made up of these chains of amino acids. Think of them like Lego bricks that can be combined in countless ways.
Right.
And the way these amino acid chains fold into these very specific 3D shapes actually dictates what the protein does. And we're talking everything from fighting off diseases to digesting your food.
Okay, so the shape of the protein is crucial to its function.
Gotcha.
But where does the really complex problem part come in?
Well, figuring out exactly how a protein will fold based on its specific sequence of amino acids is insanely difficult. It's like trying to predict how a piece of paper will fold just by looking at this long string of letters representing each fold. Traditional methods are really expensive, they're incredibly time-consuming, and even other AI models have struggled to kind of crack this nut.
So protein folding, this is like the Mount Everest of biochemistry.
More like the entire Himalayan range. But here's the thing, GPT-01, with this chain of thought reasoning, it's climbing those mountains, it's mapping out the terrain for us.
Okay, all right, I'm hooked. Walk me through it. Let's say we give GPT-01 a brand new protein to analyze what is happening inside its AI brain.
Okay, so imagine this. We give GPT-1 a hypothetical protein, right? A specific sequence of those amino acid Lego bricks that we talked about. First, it doesn't just jump into folding, it analyzes the sequence, kind of like a detective at a crime scene looking for patterns, any unusual elements, maybe like an unusually high number of a certain type of amino acid, things that might influence how the protein folds.
So it's taking the time to understand the raw materials, the building blocks, before it even starts putting them together.
Exactly. And once it has a good grasp of that sequence, it starts predicting the protein structure. It starts making these educated guesses like, okay, based on these amino acids and, their properties, this section will likely form, let's say, a tight coil called an alpha helix. And this part over here, this will probably fold into a flat sheet, a beta sheet.
So it's like GPT-01 is building this 3D model in its mind, right? Using all those clues it gathered from that amino acid sequence. But it doesn't just stop there, does it?
Oh no, this is where it gets really mind-blowing. GPT-01 doesn't just build a static model, it actually simulates the entire folding process.
Wait, hold on. It's like hitting play on like a microscopic origami session.
No.
We're watching this protein fold in real time.
You got it. And here's the kicker. Because it's simulating this process, GPT-01 can pinpoint potential problem areas, places where the protein might get stuck, misfold, maybe even fall apart.
So it's like having a crystal ball.
Yeah.
But instead of the future, it's the future of how this protein will fold. And it can see those potential problems before they even happen. Okay, that is impressive. But identifying a potential problem is one thing. What can GPT-01 actually do with that information?
Well, it's not just about, identifying these problems, Brian. It's about actually, finding solutions. And that's
Hmm.
really where this chain of thought reasoning just it shines. So instead of just, saying, "Hey, there might be a misfold here," it might suggest, "Hey, if you swap out this amino acid for this one, it could prevent that misfold and make the protein more stable." It's like having this microscopic repair crew that can not only spot damage but also suggest fixes.
Wow, so it's not just analyzing, it's problem solving at a level that we haven't really seen in AI before. This is incredible. We're talking about like potentially speeding up research, designing better therapies, all because GPT-01 can think through these really complex processes.
Exactly. And the best part, this problem-solving power, it's not limited to, just this microscopic world of proteins. GPT-01's ability to understand and manipulate these really complex systems, it's already making waves in other fields as well.
Okay, you've got my attention. What else can it do? Give me another example.
Well, imagine the possibilities in, let's say, drug discovery. Think about the challenge of designing these new drugs that precisely target, specific diseases at the molecular level. GPT-01 can sift through these massive data sets of biological information, pinpoint, really promising drug candidates, and even predict potential side effects all at a speed that it would make your head spin.
So we're talking faster drug development, potentially safer drugs, all thanks to AI that can analyze and reason like a scientist. That's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And it doesn't stop there. Think about genetic research. GPT-01 has the potential to analyze these huge volumes of genetic data, identifying those tiny mutations that are linked to diseases, predicting disease risk, even helping us develop personalized gene therapies. It could completely revolutionize how we understand and treat genetic disorders.
This is mind-blowing stuff.
Yeah.
It seems like we're on the verge of this massive leap forward in so many fields. And it seems like the key here is GPT-01's ability to handle these complex systems, not just, in biology, but anywhere that this kind of analysis is needed.
Exactly. And to illustrate that point, let's jump over to the world of material science. So we're talking about analyzing the properties of, different materials, understanding how they interact like at the atomic level, and using that knowledge to actually design new materials with very specific characteristics.
Okay, so like stronger, lighter materials
Mm.
for, building skyscrapers or maybe even designing
Right.
spacecraft, ones that can actually withstand those extreme conditions out there in space.
Exactly. Or even something as crucial as developing new battery technologies, right? For things like electric vehicles, ones that charge faster and last longer, or imagine GPT-01 helping us to create like super efficient solar panels that can capture even more energy from the sun. I mean, the possibilities are they're really mind-boggling, and the most exciting part is we're really just scratching the surface of what GPT-01 can do.
It's almost a little overwhelming, right?
Right.
But in a good way.
Yeah.
Makes you think, if this is what we can achieve now, what will the future hold?
It's a future full of possibilities, and it's really up to us to make sure that we're using this technology responsibly, ethically, to address some of these big challenges that humanity is facing.
Absolutely. Well, Kat, this has been an incredible deep dive. We've gone from the microscopic world of protein folding to the vast potential of material science, and it all comes back to this really groundbreaking AI, GPT-01. It's not
Yeah.
just processing information. It's thinking. It's solving problems. It's pushing the boundaries of what we thought was even possible.
Couldn't have said it better myself. It is definitely an exciting time to be working in AI.
It's an exciting time to be alive. So, for everyone listening, if this episode got those brains buzzing, buckle up because tomorrow evening we're back with another deep dive. We'll be exploring the fascinating intersection of AI and, well, you'll just have to tune in to find out. Until then, keep those minds curious, everyone.